Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to some more of the Patchwork scenario for Railway Empire Germany DLC. As you can see, I have dropped in a warehouse down here and I've added in these two products on a connection here to Cottbus, and I've also looped them in up here to the maintenance station so that they can route out over here towards Posen, and potentially we can funnel some goods in a different direction up this way as well. On top of that, what I also did was I slightly reworked this. So we had these two tracks here. These were initially the two center tracks, which left a blank track just here, and then a single track coming off here, which then split into a double line for this section here. I've just reworked that ever so slightly, and I need to do that. There we go. So, our tracks are laid. I just need to come down here to this warehouse and start adding in some goods. I want to see what else I can link around. If we have a quick look at the stuff that's being produced in each city, we've got direct links that'll run through to each of those cities. It says no real need to store additional products in there just yet. But I am thinking potentially going forward that we could obviously send goods out here to Lissa, and then maybe as we come down south we've also got Dresden down here as well, but initially we're just going to go with the two products here, so we need to get those activated in the warehouse. So we need to activate wood and wool, and you can see lots and lots of those products already in those stations. 52 bits of wood and 61 bits of wool. Now we need to start routing some of these trains. So is that not signalled? I thought I'd signalled that. I didn't signal it over here. There we go. So let's add in some locomotives. We'll run a couple of trains through that way. Let's also run a couple of trains up this way as well. We'll probably run 3 on this one. There we go. Let's get some dairy moving. Dairy going in direction to both of those two towns there. We also want to get some dairy running over to Berlin. Speaking of, we also need to get some grain into Berlin. We need to get some grain coming down here into Cottbus. Now we're going to need 2 of those trains because they have a bakery, so they're going to have more of a demand for that product than just a regular demand. And we also need to get some grain going over to Posen as well. So there we go. Lots of trains getting routed. Now it's just this section here. Now we need to start working over here. So we have our warehouse over here. Let's get the goods activated in this. We want to activate some sugar beets, and we also want to activate the wool. There we go. And we want to keep pigs separate for now. We'll run separate trains with the pigs, but let's just bump those up to 99. There we go. So let's run some trains from here. Just run with 1 for now. And we want to run pigs. Oh, there's no meat industry here, is there? We were going to put a meat industry in Berlin once Berlin started growing. So we'll actually scrub that line for now. We do have a grain connection up there, but it's a long route down, and we've got a much quicker grain connection there, so we don't need to worry about that. Let's just take a quick look at the staff. See, we've got engineers, security guards, conductor. Not really need to worry about stuff there. You can see our money's rocketing up already, back up to nearly 3 million marks. So let's see, we need to get that express connection between Berlin and Cologne sorted. That still needs to happen. We need to secure access to 16 areas. We're working on that. Connect 10 cities, each with a population of 120,000, and put all of our competitors out of business. Well, we only have one remaining competitor, I believe. Yes, France, Hubermüller is the only one left. And we can't access him just yet. We'll start looking to pay one of those loans off soon as well. Let's let these trains start to run, speed time up a little bit. We should start to see some growth happening in our cities, hopefully particularly in Berlin. Oh, we've got no supply tower on this route. Let's plonk a supply tower in just here. There we go, and we'll need to remove those signals as a result. There we go. Do I have a bit of slowdown there, a bit of lag? Let's put maintenance sheds on all of these stations. That one's already got one. I just got a trophy, the Valiant Little Conductor. I'm not sure what that one's for. I'll have to check that. Might be a certain number of passengers delivered in the Germany DLC. That's a maintenance station, so that already has a maintenance shed. Did I put one in on the warehouse? I did. Put one in over here. That's a maintenance station there. Put one in there. And, oh, we never got this warehouse up and running, did we? Let's slow time down again. So let's activate pigs on this one, and potatoes. We want to run pigs in there, and we're going to want a couple of trains. So this one here.
Splendid. A railway line that doesn't have to hide itself from the world.
Get 2 of those. Might go with 3. We'll go with 2 for now. Let's get a potato train running out of Posen. And a potato train running to Cottbus. Don't have potatoes anywhere near here by the look of it. So we'll initially get some potatoes running out to Berlin as well. Again, it's a very long run. Routes. Prioritize potatoes. There we go. And then Berlin. Oh, we're getting blackmailed. Yes, we'll pay that off. Berlin can then ship back and store Lederhosen in here. So we need to add Lederhosen to the active goods in here. There we go. And then we can distribute Lederhosen from the warehouse to our various cities as well. We also need to get some trade going between our cities. So let's send Cottbus over to Berlin, like that. We'll come back and duplicate those trains in a moment. And we also want some trade going that way. And we want some trade going this way as well. Alright, there we go. Lots and lots of trains active What was the task that we completed? Oh, the express line has now registered as an express. This is the thing. Sometimes it takes several routes, several journeys for an express line to actually register as an express line. I was actually working on some of the standard in-game scenarios over the last week or so, in my spare time, trying to get my platinum for the game. And so I was working on not Gold Rush, it's the one after Gold Rush, in the same area, the West, the second of the two scenarios in the West, and you have to get an express line between San Francisco and Salt Lake City, and I built an express line, and it took about 2 years. I mean, it's a huge, long, direct line, but it took over 2 years in-game for that line to actually register as an express, despite it only running express passenger trains. Sometimes they do take multiple trips to register. So we've got loads and loads of cash. Let's get one of these loans paid off. We need to start looking at access to other territories as well. We need 3 more, don't we? So, let's look for 3 cheap territories. We've got one there for 3 million at Pomerania. This one up here is 4 million for West Prussia. This territory here, we definitely want this one. That's 3.3 for Silesia, 4.8 for Bohemia. And then obviously we want this one is going to be territory number 16. So we only need to buy 2 more territories before we get Bohemia. Are there any other cheap ones that we can maybe nab hold of? What about this one up here? Holstein is, or Holstein, 2.25. That might be the one we go for, actually. What about this territory? Can we buy this? East Prussia, 2.4. Moravia is 3.6, 4.8 for Carthinia. Yeah, so if we're just looking for the cheap territories, then we're looking over here. We've got East Prussia for 2.4, and then what was the other territory? It was up here, wasn't it? Holstein for 2.25. I think we'll buy those. There we go. So we can buy that one right now. There we go. We're not going to be developing that area. It's, you know, we've got enough stuff to work with and enough ways of generating vast income. You know, if we were to start building and connecting everything that we have access to, it would take us 3 episodes of just non-stop building, you know, on pause just to get everything connected up. So I'm not worried about that. Over here, we do need to kind of work on these towns a bit. 17% supply at the moment. This is bad. We've got a lot of kind of good lines over here that aren't doing anything, and now we don't need this express connection to be an express connection because we've got the objective done. We can actually start looking at routing onto that line with freight if we need to. So let's look at bringing this down this way. Screaming out for wood deliveries in this area. You watch, she's not going to let me actually put a crossover in until we get right up there, is it? That's frustrating. There we go. And then I need to be able to link that onto this line here. That's quite a big gap. And pull off here. Swing around, and if I can, I'd like to kind of get in as close to that as I possibly can. There we go there. That line sweeps around underneath like that. That works. Works perfectly. I said it worked perfectly. It doesn't quite work perfectly. That angle is a bit too bad. We need to take that bit out. Let's try and put this line back in down here. There we go. Oops. I thought I pressed X. There. So we get close to the line there, and then we just need to drag this away like that, and hopefully that will give us the clearance that we need. Whoa, just that was close, but we can just about make that connection there. Excellent. So now we can get. Oh no! Now it's saying we can't. Ah, that's frustrating. There is a way around this, actually. Well, it's actually a couple of ways around this. We'll go with the simpler route. The simpler route is just to have a shallower exit point just here. So we go there, make that a slightly longer set of points. It shallows the angle here, which gives us the clearance underneath, which we need. There we go. The other option would have been to actually put the crossover here, and then have the signal, or sorry, this switch coming in onto just a dead line on one of these two lines here, and then it wouldn't have to worry about signal conflicts or anything like that. But we'll do that instead. That works. So we've got wood that can now be shipped out this way to go towards Berlin, and we don't really need access going out that way. What we also need is from here. Again, we need to have some signal spacing for this. Let's put our signals in here first of all. What I've started doing as well, since I've been playing in my spare time over the last week or so, is I've actually started switching away, switching rounds the way I put my no entry symbols. So traditionally, I've always been putting them like that, and then at the start of a section of track that needs, you know, a directional control. Now I've started doing it the other way, so at the end like that, so it actually does work like a no entry symbol. It doesn't really affect the gameplay in any way. It's just it's a different way of doing it, and that's what I'm currently used to doing, because I've been doing that a lot all week. You know, running through some of those scenarios. I only need 3 more scenarios completed now, and then that is the platinum trophy. So I'm no, not 3. Sorry, 5. The 3 in the east, and then the 2 in the southeast, and then this game for me will be completely platinumed. I'll just obviously then have the DLC trophies left to unlock. We just space those signals automatically like that. There we go. So what I want to do is I want to have a connection that comes off here, goes over or under that bit of track, and then links up over here and comes into Magdeburg. So let's try running a line from Magdeburg over here. Get the connection to come in like this. It's going to build a bridge, or it's going to build a tunnel. Which is going to be the better option? That is the question. It's going to be steep gradients either way, but we can probably control the gradient a little bit better. Gee, no, it's just a high gradient there already, isn't it? We'll do that. And that works out cheaper and shallower than having the tunnel go underneath. We connect that along there in case we decide we want to put a supply tower at this end of the station. We've currently got one just here. We could relocate that possibly. There we go. That's a nice smooth line no horrendous gradients. We'll run that over the top and then connect there. And we're out of cash. There we go. Need to get that signalled. Go over the top. There we go. So we can now run wood into all of these towns. Just gotta wait for some money to buy the trains because we skinned again. There we go. Get wood running into Hanover as well. And wood running into Magdeburg. And we don't need to worry about supplying wood to Berlin because we have wood coming in from another location. But we do need to make sure Brandenburg gets wood. There we go. How are we doing over here? We've got growth. Oh, we've got a new industry in Berlin. So now we have the option. I think, was it Berlin? I was going to put a meat industry in. I think it was, wasn't it? Because of the boots for the tailors. They need that as a material. So putting it in a meat industry gives us meat for this region, and it also gives us the boots that we need for the tailors. Now we can get those pigs running in from up here. Okay, and we're going to need lots of pigs. There we go, 4 trains running on that line. We've got growth here in Cottbus. We're not getting any hops in yet. Okay. Were we going to get rid of the hops, perhaps, and put something else in? We've got sauerkraut. That's coming along quite nicely. They're getting salt, but I'm not quite sure where they're getting the salt from. Maybe it's just stockpiled from, from previous ownership. I can't see salt anywhere. Oh, it's there, look. Salt is all the way over there. So they're okay for now. They've got a nice big stockpile of salt, but that will start to run out. Meat, they're getting plenty of meat. Possibly do with an extra meat train. That's pigs. That's pigs. Yeah, let's get an extra pig train in. Because we do need to start shipping goods between our cities a bit more frequently as well to get their growth triggered there as well. So we need to look at maybe just getting rid of hops and putting something else in. It's kind of a shame. I just built an industry there. I can't see what is next or what else I could put in instead. We could potentially put dairy in. We've got a dairy plant there. We could maybe take the lager factory out, but then we don't have any other beer in this region, do we? So it would be nice to get hops in. I think there is hops over here. Do we have access? No, we don't, which means we're going to need to buy the Celestia territory to get those hops. And then run from there into our warehouse, and then from our warehouse we can then deliver to Cottbus. So what I need to do here is I need to take these bits of track out. And put them in on the lower lines there. I had initially kept those 2 bottom lines free because I was thinking that we might need to gain access to this material over here, but we actually have access to it just here, which we can run straight into this warehouse and then distribute wherever we need it. So we can ignore that little industry just there, regional business, and then this now leaves me 2 free lines to run straight over to this hops territory over here. I'll need to re-signal that as well, don't I? Now that I've taken those bits of line out, so... There we go, signals back in. We do have lots and lots of points. All the locos are unlocked, so what are we looking at? Increasing mail transport. Lower the cost of auctions. Mail in profit increase. What about over here? Some of these older ones. Increased profit of factories might be quite good. We own quite a few businesses. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take an older one. And now, have I got enough for the territory? Was it 3.3? It is. No, not quite enough yet. This works out as well. I wonder if this comes into immediate effect, if this actually makes this cheaper. I don't think it did. But any future auctions will now be a little bit cheaper. 3.3 million is enough. It's amazing how quick your money rockets up like this, isn't it? Let's buy that area. I need to let money run for a little moment just so I can get enough to build a station and loop the tracks in. That should be enough. Small station. Connect there. So our gradient looking like 7%. That's because I put it way too close. That's why. Way too close to the river. Let's pull it back a little bit. There we go. Put it on slightly flatter. Higher ground. There we go. 1% gradient. Much, much shallower. And that bridge isn't too big. That's okay. We'll go with that. Need to let the money run again so I can put in the parallel. And this train, I'm not necessarily going to store hops in the warehouse, but I'm certainly going to run... I might do. I might just run direct connections straight through. I haven't quite decided yet. There we go. Oh, you know how I keep doing this and this and this to try and clear those white bits? I found a quicker and easier way to do it. It's just to highlight the entire line with delete. And then, boom, problem solved. So, to start with, I'm just definitely going to run hops on a direct connection like that. Let's get 4 trains running. Because it's a long route. We are definitely going to want to put in a maintenance shed there. Any useful personnel waiting for us? No, not really. We just need to work on getting our city populations up now. So, how are we doing with grain? Plenty of grain coming in. That's good to see. The hops are on their way. What else do they need? Potatoes. We've only got 1 potato train, so we need to boost that. There it is, the 1 warehouse to cot bus. Let's clone that train. We probably need to buy out this business and upgrade it. Yeah. There we go, we'll go to level 3. Because we are supplying 3 cities with potatoes from this 1 business. So that'll take a couple of runs, but that will start to trigger. Let's see, what else do we have in terms of trains between cities? We've got one, two, oh, we've got loads. Oh, these are all the original trains, look. The Posen to Cottbus. We put in one here, which was Cottbus to Posen. And then these are all the original trains that that broke when we took all the bits of track out that have now rerouted themselves. So we didn't even have to worry about extra trains on that line. That's good. What about through here? I've got a train to Brandenburg. Really? To Brandenburg? I want to have a look at that one. Okay, that's a bit of a long connection there. What would be easier would be to run through this way, come out the back of the salt mine over here, and then just follow the route in that way. So we might do that. Plus, it also allows me to then send salt back through the system up this way towards here. So I might just run some salt into the warehouse over here, perhaps. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to buy that. 0% workload, so nice and cheap. There we go. We'll upgrade it. Let's expand this station. Need to just rework our tracks a little bit over here. There we go, and we need a crossover. Hopefully I can get this in. Come on, there we go. So I've got a couple of ways of doing this. I could route this way, which is one option. Or I could route down this way, which is the option I'm going to go with. So let's work on the upper track first. There we go, nice straight line. Connect that up. And because salt is not a commodity that we're going to be using a lot of in terms of, you know, multiple cities needing the product, it is something that we can afford to run trains through this as a sort of connecting route. Bypassing that station is not a major concern for us. You know, potentially getting a couple of trains held up because it's a very busy route. Now, if this was a pig farm that was feeding meat into Brandenburg, there's no way I would then want to run connecting trains through here as well, because the meat demand would become so big that, you know, it would just end up with too many trains just stacked up waiting and waiting and waiting. So Brandenburg to Cottbus should now automatically reroute, and you can see it has done. That train now rerouting this way. I'm not quite sure why that train even exists, to be honest, because they're running identical goods in both cities. So, yeah, after all that work, I might just get rid of the train. There we go. This kind of seems a bit pointless, really. Magdeburg to Cottbus. Okay, it's a bit of an extreme one, but we'll let that one run. It is carrying beer into Magdeburg, which we can now kind of link from Brandenburg anyway. but it is carrying smoked ham back, so we'll kind of leave that one running. And then Cottbus to Berlin 2, which is the second Berlin station, this one here. That one we want more trains of, so where is that train? It's actually in Cottbus. Okay. We'll let that one pull out a little bit. And then we'll clone that one a couple of times. Get a few of those running. Cottbus population looks like it's approaching 60,000. There we go. Let's get 4 trains running back and forth between those cities. Our sausage makers. We're going to expand that industry. Where are the pig trains? Did I put... Where are those boots going? Berlin to Brandenburg. Ah, see, now that is running on the wrong line. I've lost it now. There it is. That's running from Berlin 2. That needs to be from Berlin 1. There we go. So that'll come up to the warehouse, it'll stop, it'll turn around, it'll go into Brandenburg, and then from then on, it should run the correct way. So if we take a look at the line, yeah, there we go. You can see that's now on the right track. I wonder how many more trains we've got running on the wrong line there. Magdeburg to... Yeah, they're all running on the wrong station, look. So this one here needs to be running from Berlin 1. Warehouse 2 to Berlin 2, that's right. Zegel Colliery, that's our pig farm. That's right. That's right. Okay, so that seems to be everything so far. Let's double check this one. Brandenburg 1 to Berlin, that's just rerouting now. I've got nothing running up this way. Let's get some beets and some wool running from here into Brandenburg. My hops train, how many of those do I have? 3. That also carries the grain as well. We'll leave that like that for now. What about on this side? Grackle Manor running into Berlin. I don't actually need that train anymore because we've got Erhardt Manor running our grain in. But we'll leave it for now, just in case there's a shortage of grain at one station. The other one can help pick up the slack. Between here we should have a couple of trains running. Yes, we do. That's good. What do we have running on here? Magdeburg to Cottbus. And Gurkel Manor is the one we just looked at. Okay, what about on here? Magdeburg to Berlin 1. Ah, I see. Interesting. That's decided to loop itself that way, has it? Alright, let's, from Berlin, let's bring it back. It's going out on that line, so from Magdeburg, it wants to go out on that line there. That might break the signal a little bit. And we'll clone that train. Get a couple more of those running. What are we still short of in here? Oh, everything. Look at that. They want everything, and they're getting nothing. Do I have a connection between Magdeburg and Berlin? Sorry, Magdeburg and Brandenburg. No, I don't. So many trains that are missing at the moment. Let's get a couple of those running. I also need a train running from here into here. Just because they're not getting any grain at all. What's Brunswick want? Brunswick, we need to change the the business here in Brunswick. Let's actually just buy that outright. Actually, no, wait. I'm trying to figure out which one to take out. Oh, they need pigs in the smokehouse. Okay, so that's a long way for pigs, isn't it? Maybe it's better if we put the smokehouse. Well, then there's no direct salt connection, is there? Comes in through here. Yeah, that would work. And then we could put the hops in here. Okay, so we're going to switch some of these industries over. We're going to take beer out. We're going to demolish this industry. And we're going to put a smokehouse in here. We're going to demolish the smokehouse in here. And we're going to put the brewery in here. So let's demolish that. And, oh, the city's not high enough for a brewery. Okay, well, we'll take the bakery out as well. And we can put a bakery back in later if we need to. But we'll put a brewery here in Magdeburg. We've got hops nearby, so we can supply the products needed. The beer can then ship out to our various surrounding towns. So demolish that and put in the brewery. There we go. That's the hops coming in. So we're getting salt from here. Where's that train gone? Gurkel Manor. Is that the one? No. Do I actually have any salt running from here? I don't think I do. Okay. Looks like we connected up and never actually got any trains running, so we will get those trains running there. Get the salt going in. Which reminds me, I need to get the salt running up there, don't I, to Posen. I'm just going to run it to the warehouse. I need to this isn't going to run with any salt. Unless I actually activate salt in here first. Now I've just cleared the line. I've got to scroll through all these trains to find it. There we go. Zagel Colliery. No, that was a dead train. Or did I get... No, this is the one I was going to run. Camera's got turned and rotated. I'm trying to find where we're supposed to be. So much ground covered, look. So this one needs to run here into Brandenburg. There we go. We've got growth in Berlin. We've got trains breaking down all over the place. Let's fix all of our Class Bs the quick and easy way. Let's just replace all of them like that. There we go. Every train is now a Class B on our network. Right, where is my salt train? I've got to find that. There's a few Magdeburg trains that are broken. Just going to scrap them. So many trains. Warehouse 1 to Berlin 2. Oh yeah, we definitely want that train running, don't we? I thought I already had done that one. I must have had no money for the actual trains themselves. Scrolling through lots and lots and lots of trains. Tonso Manor to Essen. Wow, that's all the way over here. Don't I have a train on that line? Yeah, I do. So I've got 2 now. Okay, well, we don't need 2, so we'll just manage it and delete it. Keep on scrolling through. Where's the line I created? They don't stay in the order that you want them. Salt Estate to Essen. Again, we've already got that train. It's going to Essen too. So this one, we'll get rid of that line. Magdeburg to Cottbus, to Magdeburg to Berlin. Magdeburg to a city that isn't connected anymore. Kraus Quarry, that's our dairy. There's some Cottbus trains that are just broken as well. Ah, so many broken trains. Keep going through. We will get to the train I'm looking for in a moment, I hope. But this is going to take a little while to sort out, and we're pretty much out of time. So what I'll do is I'll keep going through these trains like this off camera, and when we come back, we'll have the salt train up and running to the warehouse, and we'll continue to start expanding these towns. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more of the Patchwork scenario for Railway Empire Germany very soon.